Thanks for joining us today on the Three Man Blitz. I'd just like to take a moment to remind you to follow us on Twitter at 3manblitz. Visit us at www.3manblitz.com. You can listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcast, Breaker, and don't forget to view us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks, guys.
Welcome to another episode of the Three Man Blitz. Come to bring to you my comrades. We got Andrew. We have Jeremy.
What up?
All right, let's do this. We're going to do our NFL episode here. First off, let me jump right into it. Is Mahomes the clear MVP?
Clear? No. Oh, you over there?
Really?
You over there shaking your head? You know who I'm giving it to at this point?
What are you giving it to?
Aaron Rodgers, baby.
I wasn't expecting that one.
See how I went green for the Packers there?
I wasn't expecting.
Aaron Rodgers,
God.
he's the man.
Yeah.
Statistically right now,
It's been a long
yeah, it is. Statistically right now, he's absolutely killing everybody else in the league. I mean, just pull up the stats. I will say it's a race between him and Mahomes at this point. You know, we talked a lot about Russell Wilson as well, and Kyler Murray's been thrown in there, and I've even heard Ben Roethlisberger's name. But, no, dude, I like Aaron Rodgers this year for MVP.
I wasn't expecting that. Very good. You know, Rodgers is always in the conversation. Mm-hmm. He's been a beast this year. Always does his thing with Green Bay. And Jordan Love is waiting.
He'll be waiting a minute at this rate.
Yeah, exactly. Jeremy, who you got?
First of all, Jordan Love's going to be waiting a long time.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Rodgers still has a lot left in him, and if Green Bay wanted to move on, they'd be really dumb. But I would still say, I mean, yeah, it's hard not to say Aaron Rodgers, but I would still say it's Patrick Mahomes. You know, they're still winning. He's still putting up a ton of good numbers. He just had almost 500 yards throwing against Tampa Bay, 3 touchdowns. I mean, just because he has an embarrassment of riches and his skill players, that shouldn't mean that, you know, what he's doing is less impressive than what Aaron Rodgers is doing.
I got you.
I would still say, I would still say it's Mahomes. Although if you said Aaron Rodgers, I mean,
I mean, like whatever. I said, I think it's a
race.
I'm going to call it a 2-horse race at this point. But I'm not saying that, you know, one of these other guys I mentioned can't sneak up from behind. But let's be real. Like, is everybody kind of getting, like, Mahomes out? Like, is everybody tired of hearing about the guy? I mean, like, do you think that would like, affect it? People are like, oh, man, we had Mahomes, and then we had Jackson, and Mahomes Super Bowl, and this and that. You know what? Here, Aaron Rodgers.
I think it's almost reversed. Like, they just, you know, just give it to Mahomes because it's, like, almost automatic.
He is, like, straight up the face of the NFL right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know? Yeah, he's a poster child.
He is.
One thing before I give my 2 cents. What you drinking on, Andrew?
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry, my guy.
Yeah, like this is his first episode.
I'll let y'all down.
He's new here. He's new.
Jeremy, what
Good
you got
is,
there, man?
I can fix it right here with the beer fridge.
You know, I'm drinking some Woodford Reserve whiskey in my Merry mashup.
Got me a little shot.
It's Christmas time.
Oh,
Merry mashup.
It's December.
Cheers, boys. We made it to December 2020.
Oh, we made it. Now, my quick 2 cents is other players out there. Derrick Henry, of course, is dominating, you know, running the ball, killing it, doing his thing again. Russell Wilson, of course, he started off with a bang, faded off a little bit. The last 2 games, he's been back on it. We'll see how it's been.
Look at the rest of his schedule, though. The rest of his schedule is extremely favorable.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Also, of course, Roethlisberger. They're undefeated. It's almost like automatic that you got to mention him. It's kind of going under the radar in a sense. They're undefeated. You know, it's crazy to say.
Nobody's talking about the Steelers right now, except in a negative light with this whole COVID thing that's going on. But you're right, man. People are sleeping on them right now.
Exactly. All right. Well, Jeremy, let's go straight to you, bro. What's your evaluation of old Taysom Hill Part 2? Part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah.
So Taysom Hill, I mean, he's just right to the chase. He's not your future quarterback. Okay.
Oh, you just made Queasy's day.
I know, I did. I can see him over there.
Exactly. This dude.
He's done well. He's not done well for any fantasy owners that have any Saints besides himself. Like Kamara's not scoring any points. Michael Thomas isn't scoring any points. It seems like it's basically just Taysom Hill on those power run keepers. And, yeah, I don't know. He's doing what he should be doing. He's not putting the ball up for grabs except for that first game where he threw that duck that just floated everywhere. And aside from that, he's protecting the football. They're running. The defense is stepping up, and they're getting wins. So on that aspect, they're getting wins, and that's what you want him to do.
2-0.
Yeah, 2-0.
So you're essentially putting him in like a wildcat category, like he's a wildcat quarterback.
It's basically what they've done. Yeah, they're
winning.
They're winning.
And
that's what you want.
He's thrown one touchdown finally, and he ran for another 2 in that game. And these games end up being blowouts. And it's like, what is he doing? So I'm not a fan of him right now.
That's the thing. You can watch him playing, and it's not super impressive. It's this and that. He's good at what Taysom Hill does, but he's not a Drew Brees replacement. But then you're right. You look at the score at the end of the game, and you're like, wait a minute.
It's working.
It's that defense, man. Cameron Jordan's on another level.
Yeah, their defense is very nasty right now.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, another topic. What are you making of the usual underachieving teams that's actually having good seasons this year? Such as what? Miami, Cleveland, the Rams, even Washington.
Washington. I don't know if I'd say they're having a good season.
They still have a chance to win the division.
Or they can win their division right now.
And they've been looking very good ever since Alex Smith came.
That's true, but pretty much any of them can win their division in that, the NFC East if they just win. All they have to do is win like 2 games. Matter of fact, it was they just have to win a few games and they're going to win their division.
The point is these teams, stay focused here, man. These teams that I mentioned are usually kapoo-poo.
That's true.
Especially Miami.
Miami's the one that I would really want to talk about. Because they're sitting there 7-4.
Mm-hmm.
They got Tua. He's been in there doing his thing. They still have Fitzpatrick. They played him a little bit when Tua wasn't doing so well. Their defense is playing real well. They're running the football. They've become a good team. They're not really a team that's compiled. They're not the Bucks. They're not the Buccaneers compiled with just absurd talent everywhere. But they're getting it done. So to me they're a better team. So
it's a struggle to name 3 players on a team with 2 of them not being quarterbacks.
That's true. I can do it.
On the Cleveland Browns, Cleveland Browns, you expect them to? And they just lost Odell Beckham.
And they're 8-3.
Yeah,
they're a sneaky 8-3. Like when I think of Cleveland, I'm not thinking they're 8-3. I feel like they've won 6 games.
Let's try this again. Underachieving teams that have good records.
You think they're underachieving?
Usually underachieving teams. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Well, it's tough because everybody's been expecting Cleveland to do this for the past 2 or 3 seasons. So they're finally doing it.
You see the coach putting forth a great game plan. You see Baker Mayfield stepping up and being Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers.
You always do that with Aaron Rodgers.
I know.
I know Baker Mayfield looked good last week.
Okay.
He's hit and miss.
So let's say this though. Kevin Stefanski, he came in as a new head coach this year, and they have all the same pieces they had last year, and even Nick Chubb was out for most of the season, and now OBJ's out, and you still got this record. They just needed something to tie it all together, I think.
Yeah, and Myles Garrett has been a beast on the defense, but he's been out the past 2 games.
Let's look at this. I've got their schedule pulled up.
Do that.
I'm looking at them. They're a little suspect, in all honesty. Their first game they lost to the Ravens, and handily. It wasn't close.
Okay.
Their next 3 wins were the Bengals, the Washington football team, and the Cowboys. Then they beat the Colts. The Colts are doing real well right now, so there's that. Then they lost to the Steelers. They beat the Bengals again. They lost to the Raiders.
Okay.
They beat the Texans, so this is a pretty good win. And then they beat the Eagles and the Jaguars, and that's where we sit. So – I'm not blown away by any of these wins except for maybe the Colts.
it's still the Browns, bro.
I would say they're. I'm not saying they're Super Bowls here right now, but I would say they are a good team.
And
I think they're suspect. I think they're suspect. I think you'll see.
So you say you're calling them phony 8-3, a phony 8-3,
pretty much.
Okay,
They get the Titans and the Ravens back to back if the Ravens can get off COVID.
How about those Rams? They have a roundabout at running back, and I'm talking about like 3 or 4 running backs that's playing.
Let me tell you, with them Rams, man, they should be like right there. I mean, they basically are right there with the Seahawks, but they could be undefeated or right there with like 1 loss.
Why?
I feel like Jared Goff, and stay with me here.
Okay, I'm with you.
Jared Goff, I feel like if they had a different quarterback there, they could be elite. Because their defensive line is fantastic.
You don't like Jared Goff?
I mean, I don't. Yeah, he struggled. They built the team around him. Okay, they've got the strong run game. They've built it around the run game, and then you do play action. And he's missing throws that my son could make, and he's left. You know what I'm saying? And I'm legit like, dude.
But they're still winning. Like, I have a good record, very good record.
That's true. I mean, they are winning for now. They're 7-4. I mean, they just lost to the Niners, and their schedule doesn't get much easier. They got the Jets, but other than that, they got the Cardinals twice, the Patriots, and the Seahawks.
Well, mentioning the Cardinals, let me do this. On the flip side, Andrew.
Yep.
What's to make of these usual tough teams that have bad records, such as the Baltimore, the Raiders, Arizona, and Minnesota?
And let's not forget the Patriots. I want to talk about
the Patriots in there. 5-6. They're below 500.
Yeah.
And I mean, at home, the Patriots are actually. I want to talk about them first because that's the first team I had pulled up. At home, they're actually doing pretty well. They're at Gillette Stadium, which I'm not sure how much home field advantage has to do with this, or whether maybe that's just how the cards fell. But they're 4-2 at home and 1-4 on the road. I mean, they're just not looking good. Cam Newton is not looking great. They're using him like almost like a wildcat quarterback, like we were talking about. He's this past week he missed like half of his throws. He was way off. But I don't know what to make of the Patriots.
To me personally, I can point at a couple things with the Patriots, whether it's injuries, whether it's people holding out, whether it's, the COVID injury, whatever it may be. But I can name a couple things with them. Those other teams, I can't name a lot of things as why they're not having good seasons.
Yeah, well.
Because Arizona right now, Kyler Murray, you mentioned Kyler Murray and Hopkins, I'm like, they're killing it.
Yeah.
Matthew Turner, but they're not. Baltimore with Lamar Jackson supposed to be outstanding, and their defense supposed to be stout, but they're not.
All right, the Cardinals are sitting at 6-5, and
exactly, that's a horrible record for them.
Honestly, I thought they were gonna. I was kind of counting on them doubling up on the Seahawks there and really like grabbing a hold of their division, but and then I mean, like you're right though, they've lost 2 games in a row right now, sitting at 6-5. I mean, I'm gonna say it's the defense with the Cardinals because their offense. Last time I checked, they were actually like the highest ranked in the NFL as far as total offense. I mean, the Cardinals, they've really been killing it on that side of the ball. And like the same could be said with the Cowboys before Dak went out, or even like the Falcons, like it's the same thing. And the defense just isn't showing up and helping them out.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you got like Minnesota. I mean, their run game has been really good, and they're sitting at 5-6, and they're actually second in the division right now. They've got the win over the Bears.
5-6.
5-6, and they're second in their division. But that
didn't start coming on until probably like the last 3 games.
They won their last game. They lost the one before that. But I mean, and you want to talk about teams that are underachieving? I mean, like the Bears there for a while. They won like their first 4 or 5 games straight, and now they've lost 5 in a row. I mean,
I think they was kind of off it on at the beginning because that's when they switched quarterbacks.
Dude, they can't figure out what they're doing right now.
Yeah, they've switched back to Trubisky.
To who?
Mitchell Trubisky. Yeah, Trubisky. I think the Bears just, their defense was what was winning them those games, and since then, they're a little suspect.
And in the AFC West, I mean, you were talking about the Raiders. Like, you know, they were kind of bad last year. They were kind of bad the year before. And you see them, like, steadily getting a little better and a little more solid under John Gruden. And, I mean, at first, you know, he came in and everybody was talking, oh, let's fire Gruden. He's shipping everybody out the door. You know, Amari Cooper's gone and Khalil Mack's gone. What are we doing? But it's almost like he just put the whole program into, like, a rebuild. And, you know, we saw at the beginning of the season with their first matchup with the Chiefs, you know, they went toe-to-toe with the Chiefs, and they weren't afraid. And
they beat the Chiefs.
Beat the Chiefs, yeah.
They did, yeah. And right now, I mean, they're sitting on 2 losses, and they got blown out by the Falcons. I know Queasy loving that.
I mean, I'll take it when I can get it, but
if not for that loss, they would be sitting at 7-4, which really isn't that terrible of a record. But they just can't quite get it together. They're like on the cusp, man.
Yeah,
on the cusp. But you want to talk about another team like the Chargers? They have a fantastic offense. If you look at Justin Herbert's numbers, they're like stupid for a rookie quarterback. But then you look at their record, and it's like 3-8. How?
Yeah,
and their defense isn't even
I guess
that bad.
I kind of get that to a rookie quarterback, but I see what you mean. They definitely look good with Keenan Allen too.
Yeah, Keenan Allen. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't get it. Austin Eckler's been out, sure, but
they're missing on the running back side. Their defense has not played well. And as far as the Raiders go, you know, all of their losses aside from the Falcons, Queasy, you know, they've been really good teams. You know, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Patriots. You can say the Patriots, but you will. It was early in the season. Their defense was still cracking in. You know, the Falcons.
Shut up, man.
The Falcons are dangerous with the offense. They throw it together. I mean, and that's what happened. The Raiders fell behind, and then they had no answer. I think they only gave Josh Jacobs like under 10 carries. I think he was a little banged injured. Up, but but still, I mean,
we'll figure it out.
Love me some Josh Jacobs though.
Speaking of love, Andrew,
love hurts.
Is it time for the big hurt?
Love
Philadelphia 3-7.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We're about to talk about divisions.
Bring them out.
Let's talk about divisions.
Bring them out.
So you've got the Giants sitting atop the division with an astonishing 4-7. You've got Washington in second place with an astonishing 4-7.
Exactly.
And you've got Philly here in third with 3-7-1. The Cowboys bringing up the rear with 3-8. So this division right now is winnable by any of these teams. Right now, the Giants are on a 3-game win streak. So they're kind of getting hot, and I use that term very, very loosely. They're getting hot, but the Eagles are still in it. So you come to a tough fork in the road as a team. If you're Doug Peterson here, you're looking at this and you're saying, okay, well, Carson Wentz is inaccurate whenever he actually has pass protection. But then, like this last game, last night versus the Seahawks, he was on the ground 6 times. He got sacked 6 times. He had a fumble, he threw an interception, and he had 2 touchdowns.
And Matt Ryan said, "Hey, come talk to me when you hit 8, okay?"
Right.
Let's go. Matt Ryan ready to go have a beer with this young man. But the issue is, or I guess the real question is, okay, your division is winnable. Right now, the rookie quarterback coming off the bench probably doesn't give you the best shot to win these games. You could have Carson Wentz continue the season and game manage, and you could possibly win your division. But what happens when you make the playoffs? What happens when you have to go up against the Seahawks, or you have to go up against the Rams, or you have to go up against the Packers or Vikings? I mean, like, you're gonna.
So you're saying keeping Carson Wentz?
I'm saying, what's the point in winning the division? Whoever wins this division right now they're gonna have the title division champion. Yes. But it's like a false trophy. It's like a participation trophy.
I am sorry, Andrew. I'm sorry. I see that
Andrew,
face on Jeremy.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard you say.
What?
What's the point of winning their division? Get out of here. I know your point.
No, listen,
I know what you're trying to say. No. Hang on a second. You're saying it doesn't matter because when they get to the playoffs, they're going to get demolished, right?
What I'm saying is, no matter which team wins this division, each one of these teams has deep, deep issues. There's no freaking point. And I feel like if one of these teams gets to the playoffs here, they're going to end up saying something like, "Oh, look, we made the playoffs. What's wrong with us? Nothing. We're going to keep our head coach. We're gonna
playoffs.
I mean, yeah. Look,
playoffs?
we made the playoffs. You want to talk about how bad we are? We made the play? No, man. No, it's false bragging rights. It's bull crap. It doesn't matter. You need to see right now if Jalen Hurts is your guy. You need to see if he's your guy.
I'm just saying that if that is your basis and your argument, it's never going to happen. Nobody in their right mind is going to say, you know what, let's roll with the rookie here. They might do it to see if it gives them a little spark, but they're not going to say, hey, we've got a chance to win our division. Let's go with the untested guy and see if he can run it better. And then
what I'm saying is it really doesn't matter this year whether or not you win this division. What I'm saying is you need to see what you have. You need to see what you have for the future. You need to know. You spent a second-round pick on this guy. You need to know if he's your guy. But they're also in a weird dilemma, in a weird place, because they just signed Carson Wentz to a 5-year contract that was worth a lot of money.
He ain't going nowhere.
If he shits the bed like he's been doing, I mean, like, what are you gonna do? Somebody else gonna want him? I don't know.
You're stuck either way, and like I feel you. Like you might want to see what you've got, but at the same time, you only do that when you have no chance. You're not going to do that when you still have a shot, and they still feel they have a shot because they do because that division sucks.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance. Now, I'm not saying they have a good chance at making a Super Bowl run, but they do have a good chance of winning their division. And then once you get to the playoffs, it only matters when you get to the playoffs. How many teams have we seen make a deep run? 7-9 teams, 8-8 teams.
We could talk about the
that won't be the Eagles.
It's probably not. It's probably not going to be anybody for the NFC East.
But
I'm just saying.
What I'm saying is,
you never know until it happens.
What I'm saying is that whoever wins this division this year, the team and the fans are gonna have a false sense of security that does not need to exist, or your team is gonna be even worse next year.
Not Eagle fans, bro. Eagle fans they're like some of the realest fans you're gonna have. Them and Pittsburgh fans and stuff, they know what they've got. They know that Carson. Trust me, if anybody hates Carson Wentz right now, it's Eagles fans. They know. They probably want to see Hurts just as bad as you do. But in reality, let's stay in reality for a minute. Hurts isn't going to give them a better chance to win.
Well, let's be real. Right now, Eagles fans are ready to storm the front offices and burn it all to the ground. They want to fire everybody. They want to fire the whole damn team, and they want to start from scratch. That's what they want to do. That's the kind of online chatter and stuff that we're hearing. But like, once they make it to the playoffs, who's to say that their heart's not going to change?
I got you.
Who's to say that it would matter?
Let me,
Jeremy, they don't run the program, so
Jeremy, let me stop him because
go ahead.
Andrew's getting hot. He's done said friggin' and everything. So
the friggin' fan base.
Give me Jalen Hurts. Give me friggin' Hurts.
Okay, all right, fellas. Let me ask you this. Let me go to Jeremy so Andrew can cool off.
Woo.
What does the future hold for the NFL during this COVID situation?
As far as I can tell, they have done some real head scratching things just from the outside looking in. How they moved this Steelers Ravens game freaking 12 times. I saw a meme today that was like it had Roethlisberger and Lamar Jackson, and they were like beards down to here, gray, and they're finally going to play the game.
Exactly.
And then you had other ones like who was it that played without any quarterbacks? The Broncos. Yeah. So they because they didn't follow protocols. I'm like, how do you know they didn't follow protocols? I guess they had them on camera.
Obviously, they were stupid enough to fess up to it.
I mean, I don't know all the situations. What I will say is this much: I know the Saints just got fined like $50,000 and also had a draft pick taken away from them. These guys went on social media and posted up after they won a game, and they were dancing in the locker room,
that was it,
licking on each other's faces. And they're like, dude, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to judge their protocols or not protocols, but if you're a team that's trying to win the chip, the trophy, hey, we need to have a meeting, and y'all need to do what y'all need to do.
Oh, and bottom line, they need to act like professionals.
Yeah,
they get paid a butt ton of money to do that.
Exactly, it's a crazy situation. You got to do what you got to do.
You're gonna start going taking draft picks from teams and stuff after like every single game, every NFL game. When the teams go out there and they shake hands and they meet and this and that, I could probably count on one hand the number of masks I see on the field.
And I understand that, and I will say this: there's situations and there's extreme situations.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the and this is obviously pure speculation because I'm not there and you will never know. I think a lot of these people that are getting infected and spreading it and all that stuff, they're really not. It's not like player to player. This isn't like, hey, I'm going to play the Colts and blah blah blah, and we're getting it on the field. it's like, your strength coach from his, pastor and his friend, and it's all like that. It's all contact stuff, and I don't think it's really player to player as much as it is everybody else, and then it's contact tracing. But as far as the NFL goes, the original question, man, they're going to keep on trucking. They're going to make it work because it's their money machine. I mean,
and of course, as I've said many times in the past, there's no 1,000% way of preventing this. But what I mean by extreme situations, you don't post on social media. You jumped around with all the fellas,
that's pretty
just
stupid.
no mask on. That just shows extreme, like I don't care kind of thing. Not let me take my little precautions and we are going to do a handshake and go away. That's two different levels to me.
Yeah, I feel like
two different levels, but the virus doesn't care whether you're celebrating in the locker room or whether you're
zero right way to do it. Zero.
Yeah, I feel like it's just, in those moments, it's a feeling of normalcy, and they're celebrating the way they normally would. And it's nobody sitting there checking them saying,
yeah.
Hold up.
But all I'm saying is if you're gonna find one team, you gotta start finding everybody. They gotta either let up a little bit or they gotta come down, one or the other.
Dude, and it's kind of the same way as it was, when players are getting in trouble. It's like, oh yeah, he got in trouble, and then it's like, oh, he got in trouble, and here's the video, right? And then the video, everybody's like, oh, I can't believe it. Didn't you just read the story yesterday? Yeah, but now I see it, and that's the difference. They saw that, and they were like, draft pick. More fines.
Man, that sucks though.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you want to talk about standards though? Look at what's going on with the Steelers Steelers and Ravens versus what went on with the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos had one position group that was their most important position group, and the whole group was sick. And they're like, "All right, y'all didn't follow protocols. Sorry, you're playing anyway." And that was kind of their punishment, taking that big L, and it was an ugly L. But you look at the Ravens, and obviously the Ravens are not following these protocols. I mean, I don't care what they're telling you. Obviously, they're not handling business the way they need to be, and it seems like that's just part of everything's slipping with the Ravens this year. But how are you going to keep rescheduling the Ravens and giving them, pass after pass after pass? I mean, what's the
only thing I can say is because they're not putting them on video. But again, I don't know all the levels of it. I don't know. I can't tell you, man.
It is weird, and I'm wondering. I think I saw today where another staff member or whatever got tested positive. I'm like, okay, now what happens? Yeah. And we've talked about it ad nauseum. Like, at what point do you just say, "Hey, play the game"? You know, whoever's clean, whoever tested, positive or negative, I guess. You guys can go. You guys go play and figure it out, like they did to the Broncos. I mean,
exactly.
It is what it is.
I heard a Steelers offensive lineman speaking to some reporters on ESPN this morning, and he said, "I kind of thought this is what the practice squad was for. This is why you can sign a 50, 52, 53, whatever man roster.
Yeah.
I mean, let's play." He was ready to play.
Exactly. That's twice they then got delayed, and not for their fault as far as the Steelers.
And you kind of wonder, like, who's really moving these chess pieces around, to play it just right to where they can get their certain players, their certain starters back on the field.
Yeah, I mean, them moving the game to Wednesday, they're able to have their two starting running backs come back.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram and J.K. Dobbins.
Exactly.
But they also, last night, before the game was actually moved, they were threatening to strike. It's crazy.
I saw that. Some players were talking about not getting on the bus, and they don't want to go because they don't want to be on there with dirty players, unclean players. And I was like, whoa.
Dirty.
All right, fellas. Well, just to end it up, let me do something real quick. How about Dallas? Anybody want to talk about Dallas? Go for it. A punt. 3-8. Zeke's fumbles. Fumble-a-rooski.
I'm punting, buddy. I'm burnt out on Dallas, man.
Oh, good. How about your Tampa Bay Buck? Okay.
Well, let me throw the flag here. Illegal procedure, Queasy.
P.I.
I want to go for it just to say, I think if Dak had stayed healthy, they would probably be leading the division. They may have won 2 more games. It wouldn't have been a ton because their defense is garbage. But I think their O-line's not very healthy, and Zeke obviously needs some better O-line play, and he needs a threat of some more passing. He doesn't look the same.
More passing. Never thought about that. Yeah. No, seriously.
They didn't think about it.
He needs it. Well, you thought they did when they got.
They can focus
Dalton.
more on him. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, they're if you were game planning to stop Dallas, what would you do with what they have right now on their current roster?
Yeah. Well,
Healthy.
I don't want to hear it because
Zeke.
tell that to people who playing the Saints, okay?
Well, it's hard to stop that.
Exactly.
That's why it's hard to stop the Wildcat.
How about Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Go for it or punt, Jeremy. We got their ups and downs. They lost the last two, and they got Minnesota next.
I go for it. I think they're the most up and down team ever, and I think they're going to miss the playoffs.
You think so?
I think so, because they're already kind of on the outside looking in, so they need some wins. Their schedule doesn't look great. Brady does not look good, and they look like they should be a more run-first team and then throw, like play action, and they're not doing that. They're just trying to get it to all their beautiful little weapons, and it's not working for them. Yeah. Their defense was playing great, but I don't know what's going on now.
Andrew, I seen your siren lights going off. What's going on?
Hey, hold on a minute. We'll go blue here.
Okay,
all right. So, Tom Brady, you spoiled little child. If you lose the game, you still have to go shake their hands. You douchebag. You douchebag. Get out. You know what? Me and Jeremy had a debate a minute ago. You know what we're doing? We're shaking hands. It's all right. Asshole. Oh man, I'm sorry. He deserves this terrible quarterback play. It's karma for him being such a little. Ooh.
How do you do that? How do you, as a professional, as supposedly the greatest of all time, nub an opposing quarterback and don't shake his hand? You do it with everybody.
Oh, he knows all them quarterbacks when he's winning.
Yeah, be the first one.
He's the best friend then. Yeah, you know what? Screw you, Tom Brady. You're a piece of crap. Wow. I'm sorry. I'm mad. That's bullcrap. I learned that in Pee Wee football, bro.
Sportsmanship.
Oh, so I'm not actually talking about anything to do with the team Tampa Bay. I'm just pissed off at Tom Brady, and y'all need to know it.
Hey, wait. Woo! All right, last one, fellas. Yeah. How about the Seattle Seahawks? They're 8-3 and got an easy record ahead of them. Easy schedule. Right.
I'm gonna go for this one. I'm gonna say they make a pretty deep playoff run. They were initially, I think, one of my Super Bowl picks. I think that I said they were gonna make it. I'm a little more teeter-tottery now, looking at how bad their defense is now that we've got a large sample size. I like Russell Wilson. They need to keep letting him cook. DK Metcalf, you can't guard that man. He's a beast. Tyler Lockett's really fast. He's doing a lot better than I thought he would this season. Chris Carson, when he's healthy and playing well, they've got a pretty deep running back field. So I like their offense a whole lot. I mean, the question is, can you just keep outscoring everybody else? Because that's your only weapon. You don't have any defense.
And you got Adams. Adams back on that defense. He's a beast, though. I ain't gonna lie.
He is. He is. But
killing on my fantasy.
They had a lot of opt out, though. It's hurting them.
Jeremy, what you got?
Yeah, but at the same time, you look at the Seahawks, and they just played the Eagles, who we talked about earlier, and they barely won. It was 23-17. I mean, it was not impressive. I look at the whole NFC, and you look at it with playoffs looming, right? And you look at it in Seattle, they're probably one of the favorites. But you look across, and you got the Packers. So it'd be like Packers, Seahawks, right? Like everybody else, the Buccaneers we just talked about, Saints. 49ers, Rams, Saints. Seemed like, I don't know, man. I feel like Seattle's got enough offense to where they could turn it on at any time. But I feel like also, like you were talking about with their defense, they could get bit at any point as well. And I don't think they match up well with AFC teams.
What do you guys think about a Saints-Packers NFC Championship?
I don't know. It depends on Drew Brees comes back.
Yeah. If not, then I think we're going to see Packers-Seahawks.
Yeah, I think that's the most likely scenario.
Otherwise, if because he's had a horrible injury. People don't talk about that no more. Horrible injury, broke ribs, a punctured lung.
Collapsed lung, yeah.
Yeah. So if he's not coming back, they will not do anything in the playoffs. Period.
Yeah, and I think they said, like 6 weeks? I mean, that's going into playoffs. That's it's pretty close. It'd be like right at time. We
may end up seeing Jameis Winston before then, honestly.
Maybe.
I think, honestly, you probably need to see Winston. I would want to see what he looks like, because at some point you can still roll them both out on the field if you need to. And Taysom Hill, he's obviously a good gadget player, and he can still put his shoulder into anybody and score a touchdown. Obviously, he's been doing it.
And Winston's got legs too. So could you imagine having both of those guys out on the field at the same time? You could run some trickery, brother.
You could.
Yeah. Well, fellas, I think this is gonna be another ending of another NFL episode for us with a 3-man blitz. I had a good time as always, and as always, go for 3.
Go for 3.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Queasy at RastaLion1131, Jeremy at CheckerboardJ, and me at Jedi Quarterback.